Welcome back to the deep dive. Not every day we get to unpack a life story that reads like, well, a blend of Carlos Castaneda, a 60s spiritual awakening.
And dash of ufology just for kicks.
Exactly. Ufology thrown in for good measure, but that's what we're doing today with the author.
Right. It's definitely a fascinating collection of personal writings you shared with us.
Yeah.
A mix of memoir and...
Yeah, a mix of memoir and metaphysical exploration that...
really pushes the boundaries of what we consider normal.
outside the box, kind of.
Yeah.
So we're going to navigate this together.
Okay.
Highlight the most compelling events.
Right.
And see if we can uncover the threads that weave through all these extraordinary experiences of the author.
Yeah, what strikes me is how the author tries to reconcile these seemingly unbelievable events with everyday life.
Right.
You know?
With just normal existence.
They start with a childhood that's already hinting at a different way of experiencing the world.
Okay.
Adopted, a high IQ, and even experiencing out-of-body experiences at an early age.
OBEs, for those unfamiliar, are experiences where individuals feel they are detached from their physical body.
Yeah.
Sometimes even observing it from outside.
Right.
They've been reported for centuries and studied by everyone from parapsychologists to neuroscientists.
Yeah.
But back to the author.
Yep.
Even with these early OBEs, there's a sense of isolation, of feeling like they don't quite fit in.
Yeah, and that feeling is amplified by an early experience that could be interpreted as a potential UFO sighting.
Right.
Imagine a child seeing a giant bright orange cloud shaped like a cigar. It's an image that sticks with you
Wow.
and perhaps foreshadows the kind of unusual occurrences that will punctuate the author's life.
It's like their reality is already being nudged
Right.
beyond the conventional.
Yeah.
And this sense of otherness really intensifies during their college years.
Okay.
This is when the author starts actively exploring metaphysical ideas,
Yeah.
and their psychic abilities seem to blossom.
It's like a period of awakening where latent abilities are suddenly brought to the forefront.
Right.
We see this in the author's experiments with telepathy and remote viewing with a friend.
Hold on. For those who aren't familiar, remote viewing is the alleged ability to perceive a distant location or event using extrasensory perception.
Right.
Some believe it's a form of psychic ESP. Others think it taps into a collective unconscious. It's been studied by governments and intelligence agencies,
Right.
but with mixed results.
Yeah.
But back to the author.
Okay, so during these telepathy experiments,
Yeah.
instead of simply seeing what their friend is looking at, the author starts seeing the friend's face replaced by iconic figures
Like,
like Jimi Hendrix and Marilyn Monroe.
wow.
Imagine that. It's as if reality is becoming fluid, almost dreamlike.
It's like the boundaries between perception and imagination are blurring.
Yeah.
But it's not all just mind-bending visuals.
Right.
The author describes being able to sense the energy fields of others.
Okay.
Just walking down the dorm hallway becomes an intense experience because their body is physically reacting to the energy of the people around them.
This sensitivity to energy is a common thread in many spiritual traditions and alternative healing modalities.
Right.
Some people believe that we all have an aura, a subtle energy field that surrounds our physical bodies.
Right.
The author seems to be highly attuned to these energies,
Yeah.
which might explain their intense reactions.
It's like having all your senses dialed up to 11, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the appearance of Zephyr, a spirit guide who reveals to the author a past life as a shaman.
This introduction of past lives adds another layer of complexity.
Okay.
The idea that we've lived multiple lives, carrying over experiences and knowledge,
Yeah.
is found in various cultures and belief systems. It suggests that our present life may be influenced by who we were before.
This is why it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The author is dealing with psychic abilities, potential UFO sightings, and now past lives. But all of this clashes with societal norms in a pretty dramatic way during what we're calling the Billy Shears incident.
Yes. This event really highlights the tension between the author's extraordinary experiences and the expectations of the ordinary world.
Right.
Picture this. The author is caught in a snowstorm, desperate to get out of the cold.
Okay.
In a moment of panic, they tell a passerby they are Billy Shears, the drummer for the Beatles.
Which, let's be honest, is a pretty wild move.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's important is the aftermath.
Okay.
This incident leads to the author being hospitalized and misdiagnosed with mental illness.
Oh, wow.
It raises the question, how do we define what's real?
Right.
And what happens when someone's experiences fall outside the accepted norms?
It's like the author's living in two worlds simultaneously, One that's full of psychic phenomena and spiritual insights, and another that's trying to fit them into a box labeled delusional.
It's a struggle many people who have unusual experiences face.
Right.
How do you integrate those experiences into a world that may not understand or accept them?
Yeah.
And how do you find a sense of belonging when you feel so different?
So despite these challenges, the author keeps searching for meaning and connection.
Okay.
This leads them down a few unexpected paths, one of which is joining the Mormon Church.
Interesting.
Even within this structured religious environment, they continue to have profound spiritual awakenings.
This suggests a deep inner drive to connect with something larger than themselves,
Right.
regardless of the external framework.
Yeah.
It also hints at the complexities of reconciling personal truths with established belief systems, something many spiritual seekers grapple with.
And it's within this context that the author has a life-altering encounter that will completely reshape their understanding of self and purpose.
Okay.
But we'll dive into that in part 2 of our deep dive.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into the author's life.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how they navigate this world of expanding consciousness
Right.
while still trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah, it's like walking a tightrope between two realities.
Right.
And as we delve further into the author's journey, we see this tension play out in some really fascinating ways.
Okay.
For instance, they describe working at an aerospace company,
Right.
a very grounded technical environment,
Yeah.
while simultaneously having premonitions about a friend's daughter getting into a car accident.
This precognitive experience is pretty striking.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a vague feeling. The author actually heard a voice stating the daughter would be in an accident at a specific intersection.
Really?
And moments later, the phone rings, confirming the event.
Wow.
It's a chilling example of how these abilities can manifest in unexpected ways.
It makes you wonder how much of what we call intuition is actually tapping into something beyond our normal understanding of time and perception.
Right.
But what I find interesting is that the author doesn't shy away from this experience,
Yeah.
even though it might seem strange or unsettling to others.
It speaks to a certain level of trust in their inner knowing, even when it defies logic.
Mm-hmm.
And this trust leads them to Sedona, Arizona for the Harmonic Convergence,
Okay.
a global event focused on spiritual transformation.
Right.
The author feels drawn to participate,
Yeah.
sensing its significance even without fully understanding what it entails.
Again, following that inner compass,
Exactly.
even when the destination is unclear.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar with the Harmonic Convergence, it was a major event in the New Age movement back in the 80s.
Right.
It was believed to be a time of heightened energy and a turning point in human consciousness.
Yeah.
People gathered at sacred sites around the world to meditate and connect with this energy.
So the author, along with their family,
Okay.
goes camping in Sedona during this time.
Right.
And one night, under the vast desert sky, they have an experience that will change everything.
Okay.
They describe seeing a cluster of stars that resembled the Buddha,
Wow.
and then they hear a voice, a collective consciousness,
Okay.
offering to channel energy through their body into the planet.
Wow. Talk about a cosmic bargain.
The catch.
Yeah, what's the catch?
The author has to be willing to answer any question this consciousness poses.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but with a very spiritual twist.
This encounter really pushes the boundaries of what we consider possible.
Right.
It suggests a level of interconnectedness that goes beyond our normal understanding.
Yeah.
It's like the universe itself is reaching out, offering a direct line of communication
Right.
in exchange for participation in a larger energetic shift.
And the author agrees, right?
They-
They become a conduit for this energy flow.
Yeah.
But it's not just a passive experience.
Right.
They are bombarded with information about their celestial origins,
Oh.
their mission to restore ancient knowledge,
Okay.
and the existence of other points of light working towards a new world order.
It's like a download of cosmic information,
Right.
revealing a purpose that has been woven into the author's life from the beginning.
Hmm.
This idea of a predestined path, a mission we're meant to fulfill,
Yeah.
is a common theme in mystical and spiritual traditions. It suggests that our lives are not random occurrences,
Right.
but part of a larger design.
But with great power, or in this case, cosmic knowledge, comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
The author is warned that this path won't be easy. There will be trials and tribulations, potential loss of relationships,
Yeah.
and a constant struggle to integrate this extraordinary information into their ordinary life.
It highlights the tension between personal desires and a larger calling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being offered a glimpse behind the curtain of reality and then being asked to step into a role you may not have chosen for yourself.
Right.
This inner conflict,
Yeah.
this balancing act between the mundane and the cosmic
Yeah.
becomes the defining characteristic of the author's journey.
So despite these warnings,
Yeah.
the author keeps searching for a framework that can hold it all.
Okay.
They join the Church of New Age Spiritual Revolution of America,
Interesting.
drawn to its message of harmony between humanity and the planet. But even within this community, they face resistance and skepticism.
It's a reminder that even among those who embrace unconventional ideas,
Yeah.
there are still limits to what's considered acceptable.
Right.
The author's experiences push against those limits,
Mm-hmm.
challenging people's comfort zones.
During one meeting, someone actually questions their right to speak on spiritual matters,
Wow.
triggering a strong emotional reaction from the author.
This reaction is understandable.
Yeah.
Imagine pouring your heart and soul into sharing something you believe to be true, only to be met with doubt and judgment.
Right.
It's a common experience for those who dare to share their unconventional truths.
But this experience becomes a turning point for the author.
Right.
They realize that true knowledge and wisdom reside within each individual. Mm-hmm. They shift from seeking external validation to empowering others to discover their own inner truths.
It's a shift from being a seeker to becoming a guide.
Yeah.
And this shift is reflected in their continued exploration of psychic abilities and their willingness to connect with others who are having similar experiences.
For example, they describe an encounter with a channeled entity who claims to be Ashtar, a being often associated with benevolent extraterrestrial contact.
Right.
They feel a deep connection to this being, who speaks of a mission to help humanity awaken to its true potential.
It adds another layer to the cosmic puzzle, suggesting that we are not alone in this journey of awakening.
Right.
The idea of extraterrestrial beings guiding humanity's evolution is a recurring theme in ufology and New Age thought.
Right.
It speaks to a longing for connection with something greater than ourselves, and a belief that we are part of a larger cosmic drama.
But not all encounters in this realm are positive.
Right.
The author describes a meditation session where they encounter a grotesque negative entity in a red zone,
Oh, wow.
a place of immense power and darkness.
This experience serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights the potential dangers of venturing into the deeper realms of consciousness without proper preparation and protection.
Yeah, it's like exploring a wilderness.
Exactly.
You need to be aware of the potential dangers
Yeah.
and equip yourself accordingly.
But even in the face of fear,
Okay.
the author chooses to respond with love and light, and the entity dissipates.
Wow.
It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest corners of our consciousness,
Yeah.
love can be a transformative force.
It speaks to the importance of facing our fears
Exactly.
and integrating the shadow aspects of ourselves.
Right.
True spiritual growth involves confronting and embracing all parts of our being,
Yeah.
even those that seem frightening or negative.
Seeking connection.
Right.
And perhaps validation.
Yeah.
The author attends a UFO conference
Okay.
where they meet a speaker who shares their experiences of telepathic contact and a longing for community with others who understand.
It's like finding a beacon in the darkness,
Right.
a sense of recognition and belonging.
And the author is asked to be this speaker's handler,
Okay.
providing support and assistance.
Right.
It's in observing these interactions that the author has a realization.
Oh, okay.
They recognize the importance of meeting people where they are
Right.
without judgment or expectation.
It's a beautiful shift in perspective.
It is.
It's no longer about trying to convince anyone of anything, but rather creating a space where people can explore their own truths
Yeah.
without feeling pressured or judged.
It reflects a growing compassion and understanding of the human condition. And this compassion is evident in the author's continued engagement in public speaking.
Right.
They share their insights and experiences with audiences hungry for knowledge and connection, emphasizing the importance of trusting inner guidance and accessing the wisdom that resides within each individual.
It's like they've come full circle.
Right.
From feeling like an outsider to embracing their unique path and ultimately becoming a guide for others.
And this journey is far from over. In part 3, we'll explore the later chapters of the author's life and the profound insights they reveal about the nature of reality and the power of human consciousness.
Okay.
Stay with us.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're in the final stretch of our exploration into the author's life, A life that's intertwined with extraordinary experiences, synchronicities, and a constant search for meaning.
Right.
We left off with the author embracing their role as a guide, sharing their knowledge and empowering others to find their own truths.
And it's fascinating how, even as they step into this role, life throws them a curveball,
Right.
testing their resilience and pushing them to integrate all they've learned.
Okay.
Imagine this. The author is deeply immersed in their spiritual explorations.
Yeah.
Yet they find themselves unexpectedly tasked with managing a large metaphysical event.
Right. Talk about a real-world challenge.
Exactly.
Coordinating logistics, speakers, vendors, all while navigating the emotional turmoil of an impending divorce.
It's a lot to handle for anyone, let alone someone who's also trying to integrate these mind-bending experiences into their daily life.
But what's striking is how the author approaches this situation.
Yeah, they bring a unique blend of practicality and openness to the task.
Okay.
They're handling the nuts and bolts of the event while also remaining receptive to the diverse perspectives of the participants,
Right.
many of whom are also on their own spiritual journeys.
And it's during this event that the author has a particularly intense encounter. While observing a group of Native American dancers, they feel an overwhelming surge of energy,
Wow.
describing it as though their heart was being ripped out.
It's a visceral experience that speaks to the potent energies that can be present at such gatherings.
Yeah.
It suggests a heightened sensitivity to unseen forces, a capacity to tap into a wellspring of emotion that most people might not even be aware of.
And what's even more intriguing is that this sensitivity seems to extend beyond the author themselves.
Oh.
They describe a sense of unease, prompting them to lead their group away from the dancers.
Right.
Later, they learn that several individuals in that group experienced heart attacks.
This raises so many questions about energetic boundaries,
Right.
empathy, and the potential impact of collective emotions on individual well-being.
It suggests we are all interconnected on a level we may not fully grasp.
Yeah.
That our energies can influence and be influenced by those around us.
Like a reminder that we're not just isolated individuals, but part of a larger web of energy and consciousness.
And this theme of interconnectedness continues to play out in the author's life.
Okay.
They become a regular guest on a radio show focused on UFOs and the paranormal, sharing their experiences and insights with a growing audience.
This platform allows them to reach a wider community,
Right.
connecting with others who are exploring similar themes.
Right.
It also demonstrates a willingness to step into a more public role,
Yeah.
sharing their truth, despite potential skepticism or criticism.
And it's during one of these radio shows that the author has an encounter that really underscores this idea of interconnectedness.
Okay.
A caller with no prior knowledge of the author's personal life
Right.
asks a deeply personal question,
Wow.
revealing an awareness that seems to transcend ordinary means of knowing.
It's like a moment of synchronicity that points to the existence of a deeper level of communication,
Right.
one that operates beyond the limitations of language or physical proximity.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much information is exchanged through these subtle channels. How often we might be receiving intuitive insights without even realizing it.
It's a fascinating thought, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
we're all tapped into this network of information, even if we're not consciously aware of it.
Yeah.
And the author continues to explore these possibilities.
Okay.
Seeking a deeper understanding of their abilities and purpose, they undergo a past life regression session
Right.
and have a vivid vision of themselves as a spiritual leader in an ancient civilization.
This experience adds another layer to the author's self-awareness,
Right.
connecting them to a lineage of wisdom and spiritual guidance that stretches beyond their current lifetime.
Right.
It reinforces the idea of reincarnation and the continuity of consciousness across multiple lifetimes.
It's like the pieces of a puzzle are starting to fall into place,
Yeah.
revealing a grander picture of who the author is and why they are here.
And this exploration extends to their psychic abilities as well.
Right.
They participate in an experiment with remote viewing
Okay.
and successfully connect with and describe a distant location,
Wow.
demonstrating a capacity for non-local perception.
This experiment provides further evidence that consciousness is not bound by physical limitations.
Right.
It suggests we have the potential to access information and experiences beyond our immediate sensory input,
Yeah.
opening up exciting possibilities for understanding the nature of reality and the true extent of human potential.
But as with any exploration into the unknown, there are challenges and potential dangers.
Right.
The author recounts an experience during meditation where they encounter a reptilian entity, an experience that triggers fear and unease.
This encounter underscores the need for discernment and protection when venturing into the deeper realms of consciousness.
It's a reminder that not all encounters are benevolent,
Right.
and that we must develop the wisdom to distinguish between energies that are helpful and those that might be harmful.
It's like navigating a spiritual wilderness.
Exactly.
You need to have the right tools and awareness to stay safe.
Right.
And for the author, this journey leads them to Chile,
Okay.
where they connect with a group of individuals dedicated to spiritual growth and planetary transformation.
This experience highlights the importance of finding like-minded individuals who can support and encourage our spiritual growth.
Right.
It's in these communities that we can share our experiences, learn from each other, and amplify our collective intentions.
And while in Chile, the author has a powerful encounter with a woman who claims to be a representative of the Ashtar Command, an extraterrestrial collective focused on assisting humanity's evolution.
Right.
This entity reinforces the message of the author's mission, encouraging them to embrace their role as a spiritual leader.
It's like receiving confirmation from a higher source,
Yeah.
a validation of the path the author has been on and the purpose they are here to fulfill.
So the author returns to the United States with a renewed sense of purpose.
Yep.
The desire to share their experiences and inspire others to explore their own potential and connect with their inner truth. They create a website, continue to speak at conferences,
Right.
and dedicate themselves to being a guide for those who are seeking answers.
Their journey is a testament to the transformative power of following our inner guidance,
Yeah.
even when it leads us into uncharted territory, and to the boundless potential that unfolds when we embrace the unknown.
The author's story leaves us with a lot to ponder.
Yeah, it does.
Are these experiences simply isolated incidents? Or are they part of a larger evolutionary movement sweeping across humanity?
That's a good question.
What role do synchronicities and intuition play in shaping our lives? And how can we tap into our own hidden potential to contribute to a more harmonious world?
Perhaps by exploring narratives like the author's, we can begin to expand our own understanding of what's possible, both within ourselves and in the world around us.
Yeah.
We may discover that reality is far more fluid and mysterious than we've been led to believe, and that we each have a unique and vital role to play in the unfolding of a greater cosmic drama.
That's a great point. What stands out to you about the author's journey, and what possibilities does it inspire within your own life?
Well, for me, it's the reminder that we all have these incredible capacities within us, and that sometimes it just takes a little nudge, a little willingness to step outside our comfort zones to unlock that potential. The author's story is a powerful testament to the transformative power of following our intuition, embracing the unknown, and trusting that we are all connected to something far greater than ourselves.
I think that's a great place to leave it. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the author's extraordinary life.
You're welcome. It was a fascinating journey,